Howdy folks, just wanted to do a quick little video on how we set up our electric fence and water, how we planned it out on our farm. So I made up this drawing. So this is our kind of what our pasture looks like from the air. It's about a 1/4 mile long, and well, it's not quite a 1/2 mile long, and then it's not quite a 1/4 mile wide, I think. Anyway, it's somewhere around 40 to 50 acres. So we have pretty rough 4 or 5 strand barbed wire all the way around like that we went around and tried to repair and everything. It would keep cows in, but it wasn't going to keep sheep in. So we ran single strand electric fence starting right here. We've got a barn right here, so we put our energizer in the barn and ran an underground power cable to a gate that's right here, and then that hooked to electric fence, and that electric fence runs about 14 inches off the ground all the way around. Now we have one gate right here so that we can run the sheep into this piece of ground right here, but there's no boundary fence, so we have to put up boundary fence because all this, there's like 100 more acres over here that's all wheat field that we don't rent. So we have to put up a fence here when we want to graze this, and then there's a shed that some machinery gets parked in that we don't use either. Anyway, so there's one gate here, and then there's a gate over here with road access, because this is a road right here. And then there's kind of a path here. It's a mile line, but it's not really a road. Anyway, we have one gate here just in case we ever wanted to drive in right here, but we've never needed that yet. So this is our main gate. We've got a driveway from the road. We come in here, change the battery out on the Energizer, because we don't have electricity and we don't have pressurized water. So we have to change the battery out like every day. So that fence goes all the way around. And then these spaces are going to be too big to just run electric fence. So we started a splitting fence right here by this gate. And there's I didn't put electric fence gate in right here because we didn't need it, because we'll just put a wire across when we come around, and that way it's not in the way. So there's an underground cable that runs to this one, and then this is a 2-strand electric fence, high tensile steel wire, just like the outside one, and it runs, splits this field, and there's a tree line here and a tree line here. And then it curves, comes through here, and then splits across this field and ends over this way. So that way we can run our flock around and around, and we don't ever get stuck in a dead-end corner. So we'll just run our fences all the way around. And we don't have a gate down here either, because as we set up paddocks, they'll just keep going around, and we never need a gate. Now we have a big giant pond here, which is great because we have tons of water, but it's also not great because we only have about 40 or 50 acres, and this pond is quite a few acres. And we don't want the sheep getting in the pond. So when we come around here, we'll start just looping our fence and going to the last one. That's what we've been doing. And this fence is always hot, and so is the outside fence. So it doesn't really matter where we can get power from anywhere we want. Now this has proved to be a little tricky back here because it's such a thin piece. This rotation, our sheep are right in here right now, and we have a fence here and one here. We're just not letting them go back this time because it's not going to be that much grass, and it's a real hassle because they can get to the pond. So anyway, and originally we were going to run pressurized water with 1,000 feet of black plastic pipe and hook on here by the barn and just run it down the middle here with valves every so often, so we could just have water wherever we wanted. But the water's not turned on at the place, and the landlord didn't want to turn it on. It'd be quite expensive to put another meter in because the meter's not in. So we put a pump right here at the pond, and we have a loop of black plastic pipe that comes out here. So when the sheep are at this end, we drag it down this way, and when the sheep come down here, we drag it back and drag it down this way. Not the most efficient way to do it, but we don't have to. It saves us some money from having to buy another 1,000 feet of pipe, and gets the job done. It'd be really annoying if we were making rotations really fast, but we're on our second rotation, so we've only had to move the pipe a little bit. And then, of course, if you've seen our other videos, we have a water wagon because we don't want to turn the water on every day. So we have a old hay wagon chassis with a couple 250-gallon IBC totes that will gravity feed a little water tank. Anyway, I think that is everything. Yeah, so hopefully that helps you set up your farm.